Wikipedia is pretty great. It contains virtually every piece of information mankind has ever known, available for you to read and learn from for free. It's also editable by anybody, which leaves it massively open for abuse. Here are the most pathetic ways people have done exactly that. Number 10. Walmart edits its own page to say that it pays good wages. If we were to tell you that Walmart pays terrible, awful wages, you'd likely roll your eyes and say, yeah, duh. Well, Walmart's Wikipedia entry would disagree, insisting that their average pay is just short of your average Hollywood A-lister. We know this because a student, curious about who exactly was making Wikipedia edits, launched a handy service called Wikipedia Scanner to find out. This service scans the edits made to a given Wikipedia page and links it to an IP address. Though it doesn't tell you exactly who made the edit, it does tell you where they made it from. After literally a week of operation, it was discovered that dozens of companies had edited their own Wikipedia page to make themselves sound better. Walmart was particularly brazen, making numerous edits, removing criticisms of their low wages. This is more depressing than the other companies who did smaller things with their own pages, because everyone already knows that Walmart's wages are terrible. The good news is it doesn't matter if they edit it out, because they're still going to be the butt of every joke made about minimum wage. Number 9. The BBC worker who called George Bush a wanker via Wikipedia. We're not done with Wikipedia Scanner quite yet, because there are just way too many awesome stories that came about as a result of it being created. Now, one of the most edited Wikipedia pages of all time is George W. Bush's. Out of all the times it has been edited or vandalized, perhaps the most pointless is the time a computer from the BBC offices changed Bush's middle name from Walker to Wanker. That's it. No biting swipe at Bush's policies or the war in Iraq, just a single letter change that was no doubt changed back within seconds. Keep fighting the good fight, BBC. Number 8. Arguing about circumcision for over a year. As mentioned previously, there are several pages on Wikipedia that are fairly controversial. Perhaps one of the most controversial is the page on circumcision. Now, we're not here to talk about the ethics behind circumcision because, well, holy crap, a lot of people have spent a lot of time doing that on Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, the page is edited approximately 3 times a day and thousands of times per year. We should point out that there are people who spend virtually all their free time editing this page. Say whatever you want about the procedure itself, that sure is a lot of time spent editing the Wikipedia page about cutting the end of someone's you-know-what off. Number 7. Editing your own Wikipedia page, then bragging about it. Imagine what your personal Wikipedia page would say. Chances are you're imagining it being ever so slightly wrong, because virtually every Wikipedia page is ever so slightly wrong. That's, part of the charm. Leah Salonga didn't agree though, and she decided that she wanted to edit her own Wikipedia page to make it more accurate. Now, if she'd just quietly edited the page for the benefit of the 6 people who'd be interested in it, we wouldn't be here talking about it. However, Leah didn't do that. In the most blatant self-serving move since McDonald's introduced pour-your-own-drink machines, Leah announced the edits on Twitter and obnoxiously put a message at the top of the page saying she personally was editing it. And look, we can understand not wanting false information to be out there, but if you're going to have a go at Wikipedia, please don't ignore their rules when you decide to massage your own ego. Number 6. Abusing it for page views. You may not know this, but Wikipedia is really popular. Just try searching for something online and we can guarantee that a Wikipedia article will be on the first page of those Google results. Now, Wikipedia is strictly non-profit, and they've gone on record in the past saying that there will never be ads on the website. Truly, this is one of the most enduring and morally firm stances that a website has ever taken. So, naturally, there are a lot of people out there looking to abuse the crap out of it. Without getting too complicated, a link from Wikipedia to your website will end up with said site being more prominently rated by Google. Usually, Wikipedia asks people to link to articles from well-known or reputable sites to support its articles because, well, obviously they want that. However, some sites recommend putting links to your own website onto Wikipedia and even offer advice on how to skirt around Wikipedia's stringent rules on self-promotion. Now, we can't definitively say that the people taking this advice are doing so for their own benefit, but when a possible source of revenue for your site is abusing the trust of a website that gives people knowledge for free, you're not the one on the right side. Number 5. Having other people edit your own Wikipedia page. Editing your own Wikipedia page is one thing, but having someone else edit it on your behalf is arguably way more depressing, because that's the entry we're putting higher on this list, and there's nothing you can do about it. Over in Blighty, English newspapers grew a little suspicious when politician Chuka Amuna had a glowing Wikipedia entry detailing everything he'd ever done of note. Ever. Not only was the page incredibly detailed, noting everything from Chuka's work to his education, but it was seemingly written from the perspective of either a rabid fan or Chuka's own mother. When someone looked into it and found out that all of the edits and pages surrounding Chuka and his work had been done by mostly one person, they straight up asked Chuka if he was the one responsible, mostly because the person making the edit seemingly had information that only someone close to him would have. Chuka's stock and remarkably politician-like response was that it must have been a member of his staff. So, there are literally only 3 possible explanations for this. Chuka edited the page himself and had to deny it, someone with an unhealthy obsession with an English politician wrote it out of pure admiration, or Chuka paid someone to make him seem awesome on a website that is honor-bound to be impartial. We'll let you decide which one it is. Number 4. Copying a fake quote from Wikipedia. Plagiarizing from Wikipedia would almost certainly get you told off in an educational setting. If you were in school, you'd no doubt be severely punished. In college, you'd probably be given an incredibly stern warning, and in university, you'd likely be expelled. Or you might be practicing journalism, which is the art of copying masses of text off Wikipedia or a similar source and passing it off as your own work. Now, we're not going to begrudge someone for using Wikipedia as a jumping-off point, because it's purposefully written to be accessible. Plus, more often than not, it does serve as an excellent rundown of whatever it is you're supposed to be researching. But seriously, click those little blue words at the bottom and do some further research because, learning is awesome. Shane Fitzgerald, an Irish student and owner of the most Irish name this side of Seamus O Potato McRiverdance, decided to see just how many people would copy from Wikipedia without checking their sources. So upon hearing that famed composer Maurice Jarre died, he quickly edited the Wikipedia page to feature the following completely made-up quote: "When I die, there will be a final waltz playing in my head that only I can hear." Unbelievably, dozens of supposedly reputable news sites copied the quote without so much as a cursory Google search to confirm that Jarre actually freaking said that. Virtually everyone who wrote an article featuring that quote based their entire article on Maurice's Wikipedia entry, and for supposed paid journalists, that's pretty darn sad. Number 3. Copying from Wikipedia in a report on press ethics. Following on from the entry above, journalism is such a big deal that it was agreed something needed to be done about it. In response, the UK's Lord Justice Leveson was tasked with writing a report on the problem. In it, he made passing reference to British newspaper The Independent being partially founded by one Brett Straub. This information was of course false. A friend of Brett's had put his name on several Wikipedia articles as a joke, even listing him as the inventor of Coca-Cola. Now, we should point out that Brett's friend had only put his name on Wikipedia, so literally the only way for Leveson to get that information was for him to have copy-pasted it from the site without fact-checking. And again, I do need to remind you that this was on a report about press ethics. When contacted, Leveson and his people declined to comment. Number 2. Vandalizing the same entry over and over again. Wikipedia keeps an extensive record of who edits an entry and what they change. This is necessary so if someone simply changes the entry on dyslexia to nothing but garbled words, people actually do that, it can quickly be changed back. Interestingly, there are a number of entries that are vandalized extensively. Some of the most vandalized topics are Macintosh, Harry Potter, stingrays, Nirvana, and Kazakhstan. And this leads us to wonder, are these really topics that people should be getting so worked up about? I mean, seriously, in the case of stingrays, there are sweeping edits going back and forth on whether it's important or not that Steve Irwin was killed by one. I mean, how sad does your life have to be to argue about whether or not it's important to single out stingrays for murder on their own Wikipedia page? Number 1. An obscure rock band with an entry longer than the one about the Beatles. Many bands on Wikipedia have reasonably long Wikipedia entries. In the case of bands like Metallica and the Beatles, their contribution to music is so great that they need all of those extra words. However, there are some entries that are certainly written by the bands themselves because the band is the only one who knows the band even exists. For example, consider Old Crow Medicine Show. Never heard of them? Well, if the length of their Wikipedia page is anything to go by, they're bigger than the ghost of John Lennon playing a duo with Michael Jackson. The band's page is so obviously a thinly veiled marketing ploy, Microsoft probably wants to patent it. We don't think hitmen need this much information on somebody. Seriously, there may as well be a section containing the band members' tax returns. It's that insane. It's even worse when you realize that the mammoth 5,800 edits were made almost entirely by a single person. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do give us a thumbs up below, and do not forget to subscribe. Brand new videos just like this every day of the week. And if you're looking for something else to watch right now, we've got videos from the archives on the screen. And as always, thank you for watching.